On May 17, 2009, apparently leaked press materials from NTT Docomo, a Japanese telecommunications company, were posted online. These documents revealed that Docomo was going to be collaborating with Evangelion's upcoming film, You Cannot Advance, to release an Evangelion-themed mobile phone, model number SH-06A Nerve. At around the same time, people discovered a new page on the official Evangelion website that announced the collaboration. Details were sparse, but the page did say that the phone was specifically designed for the film, and the film's director and studio, Hideaki Anno and Studio Kara, were involved with almost every aspect of the phone's design. But people expected to hear more details soon, since a Docomo press conference was scheduled to take place on May 19th. During Docomo's 2009 summer launch event, 18 new models were announced, with one of those being the anticipated reveal of the EVA mobile phone. In addition to getting their first look at the phone, fans got some new information about its release. Each phone would also come with a carrying case, a strap, and an instruction manual that would all be housed within special packaging. It would be a limited edition collector's item, and only 30,000 units would be produced. Of those 30,000 units, 20,000 of them would be available for pre-order in person at various Docomo locations and online at the Evangelion store from June 5th to June 15th. The remaining stock would be available at general retailers and the Docomo online shop at a later date. The phone's price wouldn't be announced until it was made available for pre-order on June 5th, and you could pick one up around 90,000 yen or around $928 at the time at Docomo shops, or just under 100,000 yen if you ordered it online. But the high price didn't appear to deter many customers. When Docomo shops opened at 10 a.m., they were flooded with shoppers. Docomo servers couldn't handle all of the pre-orders and crashed almost immediately, and some stores decided to start taking provisional orders by hand. In just 5 hours, Docomo had to shut things down because all 20,000 reserved units had already sold out. But they had a problem. Because of the chaos and the server crash, they had actually sold more than 20,000 phones, and it looked like everyone who was given a provisional pre-order would be out of luck. In a statement to IT Media, Docomo's public relations department stated, quote, "Some people who made a provisional pre-order will not be able to purchase the product," end quote. And just like any other consumer product with a lot of demand and unlimited supply, some people tried to make a quick buck by flipping it. Bids on Yahoo Auctions reached over 200,000 yen, over $2,000 within 24 hours, and you could find several buy it now listings at around the same price. Anyone who wasn't able to get their hands on one and didn't want to deal with the secondary market only had one option: the 10,000 units that were going to be distributed to traditional retailers. But those would still be difficult to come by. Even though an official release date hadn't been announced, some stores started taking pre-orders that same day, with a retail price of 97,440 yen, or just over $1,000, and they were selling quickly, with one store telling Keitai Watch, quote, "We are on pace to close pre-orders by the end of the day," end quote. People who managed to get provisional pre-orders were left hanging for a few days, but received good news on June 11th. IT Media received a statement from Docomo that said it was, quote, "making arrangements so that all people who provisionally pre-ordered the product can purchase it," end quote. The next day, Docomo announced that they were going to add an additional 7,500 phones to the pool to ensure that everyone who pre-ordered one would be able to get one. The amount of phones that retailers were getting wasn't changing, so the total number of phones would be increased from 30,000 to 37,500. You also wouldn't be able to purchase it at the Docomo online shop as previously announced, since the remaining phones would be given to retailers. Those who weren't fortunate enough to secure a pre-order wouldn't get a firm release date until July 9th, when Docomo announced that the remaining units would hit store shelves on the 22nd. However, since some retailers were accepting pre-orders, there was no telling how many would actually be available. The official release date came and went without much fanfare. While those who missed out may have thought it was gone for good, that wasn't quite true, but you had to get lucky. Every now and then a stray model would appear at one of Docomo's shops. But those sporadic restocks didn't come close to matching demand, and phones were still being resold for a fair bit more than their retail price. But things didn't always work out the way buyers and sellers expected. At the end of July, a couple from the Miyagi Prefecture purchased 2 phones from an office worker in Niigata. The final price was 270,000 yen, or just under $3,000, and they agreed to pay for the phones once they had been delivered. However, once the phones arrived, they decided not to pay the seller and then sold them to someone else. They were eventually arrested on suspicion of fraud in February of 2010. While the release of the Evangelion mobile phone may not have gone as smoothly as Docomo wanted it to, they were probably able to learn some valuable lessons from the experience, lessons that they could apply when they released the next one.